Moed. I'd like to speak in a subject, a halachic subject, and I want to make clear, as there's a Murad here, and what you need to do, you got to ask the Murad Asra. I'm going to speak on the subject, the way I see it, and again, Lahagdil Torah Lahadira Abraham is do Arov, which is you follow his rules and regulations. I want to talk about Shala, which is basically every roof gets it every yom-tov, if not 30 times, I would say 150 times. The first question which I got after Ma'ariv, the Mittelnacht, that means the second night, the first question was, may I take a shower on yom-tov? Yeah? Everybody knows this question. May I take a shower on yom-tov or not? And I want to discuss this Nikida as of now, 2022. I'm not talking about what is going to be 2050. Might change. But as we stand now, 2022, I want to discuss this noise. The Torah says in Parshas Boy, Ach asher ye'uchel nechol nefesh hi levada ye'uz lechem. Whatever you eat, a person eats, ye'uchel lechem, you could make an yom-tov. Because yom-tov is not like Shabbos. Shabbos you cannot do any malacha, even if you don't know what to eat. Yom-tov you could make oichel nefesh. And from this the Gemara learns out from this posik, basically, which is the Pashtas Apsikim, every malacha which has to do with food, eating, drinking, you could make on Shabbos, on yom-tov. And if a person has hanoah from that food direct, then you can do it. I mean to say, lafike, if it's machshir oichel nefesh, is indirect, then has other halachas. But if you have direct hanoah from that food, you could make it on yom-tov. In this halacha, goes in also not only eating or drinking, goes also in every hanuas agiv which a person has is a part of oichel nefesh. This is how the Alter Rebbe writes clearly in Shulchan Aruch Simon Tuf Tzadik Hai Sif Aleph and Sif Dalet that hanuas agiv, if a person has hanuah with it, goes also into the halacha of the pasuk Ach asher yuchel lechal nefesh hi levadi ye'uz lechem. That means you can do it. But there's one tanai. One tanai has to be such a hanuah which is shuva lechal nefesh. Every person has hanuah from it. It's not some people do it. Some people have no gishmak in it. Only a thing which everybody has a gishmak of it, then you could do it even if it's not eating or drinking, and you could do it on yom-tov. Now, the Mishnah says in Sechtas Beitza, B'shama omrim, la yochem udam chamin l'raglav. A person could not cook water on yom-tov to wash his feet. Eile im kariya l'shtia. Only if you could use its ruah l'shtia, you cook it for shtia, and then you can also use that water for l'raglav for your feet. Basil matirim still says no. Even if it's not ruah l'shtia, you could cook it and warm it, and you could wash your feet. And that's feet, that's not chalagoif. Even the Basilal, which says you could wash, that's only your feet, and that's not kol hagif. The Mishnah says in Masechta Shabbos, a famous Mishnah, Maase tells us a story. Anshe Tveria, they brought a pipe into a pipe of cold water, brought into a tub of hot water. And the Chumam said like this: in Shabbos, if you did it in Shabbos, it is as if you warmed this water in Shabbos, and it's also to wash, and it's also to drink, because water which you cooked on Shabbos, you cannot drink. If it is yom-tov, then it's like water which you cooked on yom-tov. It's also berechitza, and it's mutter b'shtia. Because yom-tov you could cook for shtia, but you cannot cook for rechitza. So the Gemara says clearly that this way what they did has a problem. It is as if Chamashiach me b'yom-tov, and it's Osir. Now, there's a machlokes Rishonim. What is the reason as is Osir? What is the reason, Taka, as is Osir, rechitze b'yom-tov? Is Toysus in Sechtes Weitze, in Ochtem Sechtes Shabbos, both places, Toysus says like this: Rechitzes kol gifoy, washing your whole body, asura, it's Osir, mipna shi eine duvar shuvar chol nefesh. It is not a thing which is shova for all the people. Elu lebnai Adam menugim. Only people who are mefenukim, who are people who have oineg, they're looking all kind of tanigim, they wash rechitze on a daily basis. But some other people, it's not l'chol nefesh. The asura k'moy migmer. It's also the same as migmer. What's migmer? Migmer is they used to eat every, once upon a time they used to have a lot of gishmak in olam hazeh. We don't have olam hazeh. We eat, in 10 minutes we eat a supper. They used to eat once upon a time 2 hours, and after with a 12-course meal, if not 20-course meal, and after if they finish the meal, they used to take migma. That means you just take all kind of besumam, put it on top of gechulam, a fire, and used to give out the gewaldige geschmack, and that was half of a fail. Olam hazeh. So the Gemara says you cannot make migma on Shabbos, on Yom-tov, because it's not shuvah chol nefesh. Who does it? People who are the higher echelon, people who are basically better mention. It's not the norm for every person. So therefore you cannot make migma. Zuktoisves, washing your whole body is the same as migma. It's not for everyone, and therefore it's asur. But wash pun of you, the varaglav, your feet and your hands and your face, then you could. That's your norm, and therefore this you could use with water of an Yom-tov. That's shuvah chol nefesh. So basically, the Nekitzat Vurim was what does Toysa say? Why can't you use water, cook water on Yom-tov? Because it's not shuvah chol nefesh. The Rif and the Rambam does not bring this tam. They have a different tam. Why it's asur? Mime, which you cooked on Yom-tov, and the Rambam says because there's a gzairas of merchatzuas. You all know that the Chazal made a gzaira that even water that was cooked before Shabbos, you cannot wash yourself. Why? Because the people who had all kind of the merchatzuas, the bathtubs, they used to cook in on Shabbos. They used to say, I did it before Shabbos. So Chazal made a gzaira all over, across board, that basically you could not use water that was cook even before Shabbos. And this is the Rambam says in Peirik Aleph Mehilchas Yom-tov, Haluchat Hazayin. Rechitz v'sicha, washing and sicha, harai b'chal l'chil l'shtia. It's the same as chil l'shtia. V'ois and ois b'yom-tov. You can do it in Yom-tov. Shenemar, acha sheyuchel l'chal nefesh, l'chol shetzurich l'gifil. Anything which is related to your body is the same as a chil l'shtia, and the same as you could eat and drink, cook for drinking and eating on Shabbos, on Yom-tov, you could also do something which is Hanuas Agif. Lefichich b'cham and cham and b'Yom-tov, you could warm water in Yom-tov, and you could wash punav yud v'raglav. You could only wash punav yud v'raglav, not the whole gif. You cannot take a shower. Why? Mipnai gezayres merchetz. That's the famous gezayres merchetz, and that's why it's also not because it's shuvah l'chol nefesh. The Chamashiach me erev Shabbos, roichetz bekol gifev b'Yom-tov. So the Rambam, the whole Gezaire, the Shabbos, they made a Gezaire that Chamashiach me erev Shabbos, you cannot wash on Shabbos. Yom-tov, the Gezaire's merchetz is Chamashiach me b'Yom-tov, you cannot wash on Yom-tov. But Chamashiach me erev Shabbos, erev Yom-tov, yeah, if you have a boiler which was cooked the water, hot water before Yom-tov, he didn't use it during the Yom-tov, then you could then take that water and wash yourself in Yom-tov, because the Gezaira of Merchatzuas, when it was Erev Yom-tov, that's only Erev Shabbos, not Erev Yom-tov. So the Rambam says like this: you could wash Merchitz Kalagif with water which was cooked before Yom-tov, not like Toises. According to Toises, you cannot do it, because it's not Shuvah Chol Nefesh. And according to the Rambam, yeah, you could do it. Only in Yom-tov can man nicht. But if it's Chamashiach me erev Yom-tov, then you have no problem, and you could use it normal. This is the machloikas between the Rambam the Rambam the Rif, and it's Toisus and the Rosh. Now the Urach HaShulchan asks already, I don't know, if he asks on the Rambam, What happened to the whole Shuvah L'chol Nefesh? The Rambam just ignores the whole Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. What's going on? And he himself, he doesn't bring this, the ganze concept of Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. Even by Migmar, when it comes to Migmar, he doesn't say you cannot do Migmar because it's not Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. He says you cannot do Migmar because Mechaba, because you're over of Kibi. Because when you do Migmar, one way or other you make Kibi. So he asks what's going on with this whole thing of Shuvah L'chol Nefesh, which Chazal Darshan after Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. Why do you need to have a question of Avexayas Merchatzuas? It's interesting, but that in any Biblabs with the Kasha. But actually, the Merkev's Mishnah on the Rambam, he makes a shiluf of the Rambam and Toystus. He makes a connection. He says, Isser Rechitz is called Gifoy. The Isser of washing the whole gif in water which was cooked on Yom-tov. Yeah. Atam, afal pi the rechitze chush v'oicha nefesh, although rechitze is oicha nefesh, mekom kem rechitze kol agif, lo chush v'oicha nefesh, oicha la shuv v'oicha nefesh, v'chein kos v'ya toisvus. V'zei mash kus v'rambam. Rechitze kol agif, usim mishim gezayres mechetzuas. He says that the gezayres mechetzuas is also mitzad shuv v'oicha nefesh. Perish, after the tchilas chema mamayim hoi mishim rechitze punim v'raglav, he says like this. The Rambam says merchetz, although that you cooked it for punim v'raglav, and that's shuv v'oicha nefesh, but so you were allowed to cook it. You cannot now use it for Rechitzas Kol Hagiv because Gzairas Merchetzuas. So he basically connects this whole thing together. But I can put him, what we have over here, what we see over here is a machlokes zwischen the Toisvus Rosh on one side and the Rambam and the Rif on the other side. What is the reason of the Isser, what the Chazal say? If it's not Shuvah L'chol Nefesh, so therefore the Chitz is not Shuvah L'chol Nefesh, and you cannot wash. If it's Gezairas Merchetzuas, so there's no such thing as Shuvah, it doesn't need to be Shuvah L'chol Nefesh, it's Gezairas Merchetzuas. The Rambam says Gezairas Merchetzuas is only water which is cooked in Yom-tov, water which is cooked before Yom-tov, you could make a shower. So according to the Rambam, we can take a shower on Yom-tov with water that was cooked before Yom-tov. That means if you have a boiler, if you didn't, let's say this year, we had a boiler, Erev Shabbos, nobody used hot water because you're not allowed to use hot water. Comes Motzi Shabbos, for the second night of Yom-tov, you want to take a shower, no problem to take a shower because all the water which is in the tank is water which was from before Shabbos and is no problem. Now in the boiler, if we take hot water, it comes in new water. I'm not going into technical sachen, which could be other problems, which some other person say, even though the Rambam trade boilers might have a problem. But if a person has, let's say, a dut shemesh, or other kind of a technical boiler which doesn't have the other problems, you could take a shower on Motzi Shabbos, which is the second night of Yom-tov, because according to the Rambam, it is water which is before Yom-tov. Gzairas Merchetzuas is only water which is in Yom-tov, not water which is before Yom-tov. You can take a shower. According to the Rosh, I don't care if it's Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. The Merkev's Mishnah. Merkev's Mishnah gives up, makes it with the care. But other post.
According to him, has the Rambam make a chiluk between Erev Yom-tov and Yom-tov?
According to what? The Merkev's Mishnah. Yeah. He has. I didn't read the whole thing because I'm in time. The Merkev's Mishnah hat abshad wie kwetscht daran the Rambam mit Rosh together. In will sagen, dass the Rambam hat auch the problem Shuvah L'chol Nefesh. Aber bepasst as a poskam. You brought it to see that such a thing as about Pashtas, all the Achroinim hold as Machlokes, not all the Achroinim, you'll see in the Shechanurich. So Machlokes is the Rambam and the Rosh, how we pasken, what's the time, and therefore comes the ramifications of you take a shower. The Gemara says like this, Masechta Shabbos. Itmer Chaman Sheikh me Erev Shabbos. Now we spoke here Chaman Sheikh me Shabbos. I mentioned Erev Shabbos. But let's just see the Zach which I said the Rosh. The Rambam says there's no problem. The Gemara says Masechta Shabbos Chaman Sheikh me Erev Shabbos. Rav Omer lemucher roiches behem kol gifa iver. Yeah, you could wash iver. Shmil Omer only point of view the V'rachlef. Tani kwisse de Shmil. The Gemara says I have a right to Shmil. Chamashich me be'erev Shabbos. Lemucha roiches ben puna view de V'raglav. Avaloi kol gifoi iver. Why? Because even it's hich me be'erev Shabbos. V'ayin zu rechloimer chamashich me be'yomtov. And for sure chamashich me yomtov. The Gemara doesn't say what's doing with chamashich me be'erev yomtov. The Gemara says v'ayin zu rechloimer chamashich me be'yomtov. So bepashtas ha Gemara can man sagen chamashich me be'yomtov is no problem. Yeah, gerecht. I made a mistake. Chamashich me be'erev Yom-tov, pasht gemur nish, no problem. Aber again, the Rosh zog beferish nish tazoi, and the Rosh zog beferish, no. As even the Chamashich me be'erev Shabbos, there's auch the Gzeiras mechatzuas. And Yom-tov and Shabbos is the same thing. Hat shine rai he brings the rai from Merchet shepoke me erev Shabbos, lamat Shabbos roichich ba. And of them zog dort in the Gemara vertelt dort that first it was bitter one way, then they asked one thing, then they asked another thing, then they see it's already too much. They took off one part of the Isser and they left another part of the Isser. And afterwards, zog the Rosh Azoi. Va'ayla gezairis. Af Yom-tov. The Rambam said, you remember, I said before, the Rambam says that Chamashich me be'erev Yom-tov, we have no problem. Because it is Gzeiras merchatzuas, the Gzeira was only in Yom-tov, not before Yom-tov. Kim der Rosh and Zucht, Va'ayla Gezeiras, Ashoi be Yom-tov, is all the Yom-tov. Shabbos is the same thing. Although, basically, we could say it's only Shabbos, and in Yom-tov, and as we were dying before in Gemara, that basically maybe in Gemara Mashma as Yom-tov is not a problem of Chamashich me be'erev Shabbos. Afim beken zukt of them the Rosh, the same thing. I have no problem. It's for sure. V'hoyu rivam. It says like this. Mezeh zukt the Rosh like this. Mezeh dig the krivu. The user lasses havura min atoyre b'shvil rechitza. You cannot cook water which is a melucha daraisa according to the riva. The imloi kailo it goes on malazaya. It has to be it's awesome in aser, because if it wasn't be awesome in atoyre cooking a yom-tov, what mish gaset. Chamashich me erev Yom-tov. Since you say, but gaset ochet, a gzaira, Chamashich me be'erev Yom-tov, in Yom-tov, has to be, as when you do it in Yom-tov, it's Issa Daraisa. So that's according to the Rosh's Shitta, that the Rosh said, that in why, which is not Shuvah HaNefesh, the Shuvah HaNefesh wird Usser. Is Usser min HaTeure. And this is the Shitta of the Rosh. A bunch of other Rishonim, as I mentioned before, the Rif, the Rosh, the Rif, the Rambam, and a lot of other Rishonim, hold, no. Chamashich me be'Yom-tov is Osir, Gzeiras merchatzuas. Chamashich me be'erev Yom-tov, there's no Gzeiras merchatzuas. Shuvah l'chanefesh, they disregard this whole thing of Shuvah l'chanefesh. The Rosh says, no. In Yom-tov is a Isa D'rais Shuvah l'chanefesh, and therefore you cannot cook in Yom-tov. Chamashich me be'erev Yom-tov is auch Osir als Gzeiras merchatzuas. Yeah, this is the Sigis HaGemura. Well, how they paskin? So the Machaber in Simon Tufki Vid Aleph Siv Bai says, Mitter lehuchem b'Yom-tov maim lirchetz yudov. You could cook water in Yom-tov, to wash your hands. Avaloi kol gifon. You cannot cook water in Yom-tov to take a shower. Even if you don't take a shower, your full body b'vasachas, it's still aser. Aval b'mayim sheich me be'erev Yom-tov, mayim which is cooked erev Yom-tov, mitter lichas kol gifoi. You can take a normal shower. Yeah? Because, how does he paskin? Paskin with the Rambam. I like to see mir, daf kechitz lemerchetz. You cannot go in the mikveh. Even a Svardish, which goes according to the Machaber, cannot go into mikveh take a hot shower, which was cooked before Shabbos. That's something else. But in your house, merchetz is anusar. So the Machaber Paskin is clear as the Rambam. Any water which is cooked on Shabbos is also to take a shower. It was cooked before Shabbos, then you could take a shower on Shabbos. Kim dermu Yom-tov. I'm sorry, Yom-tov. Kim dermu, and dermu says, and it brings the Shittas Rosh. Biash Oser b'chol inyan, and so there was a Paskin, and it's Oser all the inyan. That's the Shittas Harosh. This is what the Rambam passes. This is what we pass. One thing is there's still a killer Yom-tov. Even the machmirim that you cannot wash kol gifo biyachad, but iver kemen yo. Chaman sheich min erev Shabbos, you could wash iver. That means you want to take not a shower, but if you want to wash basically your whole body, but separately, each iver, each limb individual is do a heter b'chamashich b'me'erev Shabbos. There's the einzige tichille we should do. La lucha watches the Alter Rebbe paskin. The Chassidus from the Alter Rebbe. The Alter Rebbe paskin like this. Brings the both shittas, the first and the second. That means the Rambam and the Rosh, and it says va'afal pi she'ikir kesvura rishoina. Although the ikir is like the Rambam and Tosfos, in the Rosh. Rambam and the Rif. Mekolmo kom kvanahagi b'medinas eili lahachmir. In the minig and in the medinas eili lahachmir kesvura rakshoina v'ain l'shanas haminig. We cannot be meshana the minig to pasken not like the Rosh. That means that the Alter Rebbe says, although Mikra Dina pasken Mikra Lucha pasken with the Rambam, but since we have the Ramu pasken bring to the Rosh, that's the minig, and you cannot change the minig of not pasken as the Rosh. Dus the word. We can not pasken as the Rosh. In Mamayla Chamashich me Erev Shabbos, Erev Yom-tov, Kem Mishpachik Kashav. That's the sigil. Let's have it clear for we megait. Migmer we mentioned is smoking. Yeah? Now our kind, not our kind, we got a different kind of smoking. And over there we pass, the Alter Rebbe brings down the Shechanor clearly, Simetuf Kif Yidalov Sif Hai, Usel Haver Iver, you cannot burn wood, Kdale Fazer Mine Besumim, to put on top Bine Besumim. Tachas HaPayres, the fruit should get smoked. The fish Hanua Zishel Tama Besumim, which this Hanua of Shmecken Besumim, Eine Tzrich Lechol Nefesh. It's not everyone, it's not Shuv Lechol Nefesh. Elu Lemenugim Im Fenukim. Only, better people, V'lo yitiri toire lasse shim maluchem me maleches hoich nefesh ele leduven shi tzurich lechol nefesh. Only thing which is tzurich lechol nefesh shneimar asha yuchel. And this is also was the Mishnah passing the Mishnah the whole halacha, whole bir halacha in Siman Kif Tuf Yidalef. What about cigarettes? What about cigarettes? Can we smoke cigarettes? Can we not smoke cigarettes? He brings on a big machloikas that the Knesset Gdoli, the Mugnavru, the Korban Asam, the Choch Masudum say you cannot smoke on Yom-tov. And then there's the Darkanoyam, which the Habayr brings down. Shalchan Atzashitim, Birkei Yosef say it is. You could smoke. The Akshev Regil Bezev and Ashev Rechal Nefesh. Today's day, it's a normal thing to smoke. I'm not talking today's day. I'm talking the Tzat and the Poiskim and the Poiskim wrote it. And therefore, make smoking on the altar, make nish smoke on the What's the gate of Shuv L'chol Nefesh? What does it mean, Shuv L'chol Nefesh? Zoek the Sefer HaChinuch. Gate of Shuv L'chol Nefesh, it means basically in the Suga Pe'ila. If this thing is a Pe'ila, which is all the people will do, that means washing your feet and your hands is a thing which is every person does it on a daily basis. In fact, that time which they used to go without shoes and without sachblota, mod miter b'yontav. But a thing which is not shul l'chol nefesh, like migmer, is osir the lav kila alma migmer. It's not everybody does not do migmer. So the chinuch says clearly, in order that shehel shul l'chol nefesh means it has to be a thing which everybody is doing. This is by all other things. Aval yunachila, even it's a machal which only kings are eating. You have special food. When it comes to achile shtia, anyone can cook any food. Because achile shtia means the eitzem zach of achile shtia is shuv l'chol nefesh. Everybody eats, everybody drinks. But not everyone smokes. Not everyone washes themselves. So the Korban Chinuch, the word shuv l'chol nefesh means it's a pe'ila which shuv l'chol nefesh, all the people are doing it. If it's a thing which not all the people are doing it, you cannot do it. Food everybody eats, so although I want to eat a special food, and as the Gemara says itself, the Gemara phrase what's doing about tzvi, if a person catches a deer, he cannot check the yontav because he doesn't eat it normally. So the Gemara says no. So of course that's shul l'chol nefesh, because if he would have had deer meat constantly, he would eat deer meat constantly. Chila ba'etzem, the pe'ilas of achila is a thing which everybody does, and therefore it's not a problem. Rashi says a little bit different shul l'chol nefesh. And Rashi says. Rashi says, the Gemara says that my la'ashen payres besumam. Zuk Rashi, Rebbein mi oiser, it's tafnigi yisaira. Vayin shuv l'chol nefesh, istanis. Shmuel says it's mitter, it's oichel nefesh. V'rui af lahaniyam, af shayne mutze lehem. V'luduma l'nizdam alo yitzvi b'yontav. In Mamayli habe ich kein problem. So Rashi is mafarish, as everything which a person, if he would have had it, he would have done it, then he would have, that's all shul l'chol nefesh. Even though Bapoili doesn't have it. But let's say, if a person would have a cigarette, he would have smoked it, he doesn't have it, because today's day, a pack of cigarettes costs $20. You can't afford a cigarette for 50 cents. So therefore he doesn't smoke. Aber naniach, as wherever doing so, free, or whatever, what is gegessen, what he would have used, that's shul l'chol nefesh. And there's it's getting late to do, so I have to but there's in the poskim also which go and other tzirim. What is shuvah l'chanefesh? There's a basmayer which says it doesn't have to do with rav the miyat. Has to do if a person has a desire, a geschmack, a yearning to it, a tava to it. If all the people have this tava, then that's shuvah l'chanefesh. Although most of the people don't not do it. So there's a bunch of machlokes a poskim which say what does it mean shuvah l'chanefesh? The Alter Rebbe says, I mentioned before the Lord, so I'm going to say it again. He speaks about migmer, the smoke, and it says, "Sha'anuel shetam absum eine tzriche lechol nefesh, elan amenugim amferukim bevat." The Alter Rebbe do tzigelikt. Oich nefesh means elan duver shitzurich lechol nefesh. This is the greatest chimmer was on dozu. Alter Rebbe says, I think which a person needs. He needs. I think what he doesn't need. In the shuvah nefesh. So hayoytze lunim izeh, azach was zan shuvah nefesh. In welche pshat, in either way, what you're going to want to say what shuvah nefesh means, but it has to be or first pashtus is all the people do it, or all the people would have done it if they could have had it, yeah, or other people need to have it. Drei pshutim was in summer, yeah. The Pri Megudim gave him a bit of leeway. The Pri Megudim says in Simetuf Kivid Aleph, it doesn't need to be all of the people. Pashtas according to all the Rishonim in the Poskim, we say all of the people. But the Pri Megudim says Ribe Kekilai. Fine, ich bin maskim Ribe Kekilai. If you have majority of people, then you could do it. So let's come to our conclusion. Are we allowed to smoke on Yom-tov today's day 2022? According to what we learned over here? I'm very, very disappointed to tell you, but according to Allah, it's a big problem to smoke today's day. 25 years ago maybe, 30 years ago, or maybe from the way when jeder gereichert, yes. Today's day when it's not a rov, it's a majority, it's a minority of minority. I don't know if you understand. How many people over here in this shul smoke? Once upon a time, anytime you wanted a cigarette, you had somebody you could snore a cigarette, yeah? Or buy. Today you don't have to buy. So basically, it's not shuvah l'chanefesh l'chaladayas, and basically, I don't see any heterim as a big reichen in Yom-tov. The what? You want to go to general population? I'll give you it. It goes here in Medina. Here in the country was decided. You don't have majority in the United States with smoke.
No, but Rebbe said if you need it,
you need it? Okay. So that's about. So now that's about cigarettes. Now let's go about showers. Our majority of people do majority of people take showers today's day? Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Every day? Go and visit the mikveh and tell me how many people take their mikvahs. You don't have a majority of people that take showers every day. Even if you go like the Mishnah Berira, like the Pri Megudim, you don't need kiloi, like most of the poskim. You say you need rav. You don't have today's day. You still do not have. And again, if there's a big sign. And the Gabba over here in mikveh says, you don't go to the shower before the mikveh. He looks after every person goes in the mikveh, and if not, he gives a mishkamta or mishabayrach. That doesn't mean he goes in the mikveh. If nobody is around, will he go to the shower every day or not? That's the question. And today's day, most of the people do not go in shower every day. 2020, 2050, I assume everybody will go and shower every day. Yes, and then you will be able to make a shower on Yom-tov, chamayim, which was cooked before Yom-tov. Before Yom-tov. What? Not mayim was cooked in Yom-tov, mayim was cooked before Yom-tov. Now, 2022, it's still not yet the time that we should be able to be mater Yom-tov to make a shower. I'm talking about hot shower. I'm talking cold shower or not. I'm talking about hot shower, cooking Hat mine. Dus is kimt also zoy lalucha. So next time when you want to ask the roof or the whatever, may I take a shower? May I not take a shower? According to my opinion, I don't see a heter. As of now, I don't know what does the roof pass in, basically. Let's leave it like that. So again, cigarettes will be a problem, and shower will be a problem. But it will change. So the question is always, people ask me, since when Torah changes? Torah doesn't change. Shuva l'cham nefesh changes. Shuva l'cham nefesh changes. If a thing becomes Shuva l'cham nefesh, everybody, according to the Alter Rebbe, needs it. According to other poskim, want it, or they have a desire to it, then it changes. Because you don't change the halacha, you change the matzias. So Ayoyis Eluni Mikol Zeh, as of today's day, I don't see a heter of making a hot shower on Yom-tov. Hopefully, the what? Iver, you are permitted. Ma'am shich me erev Shabbos, me erev Yom-tov. That's you are permitted. Ma'am shich me. That means if you have a boiler, which like this year, first was Shabbos, then was Yom-tov, then you could make. But again, I'm not going into the technical of going in. We're taking hot water. You open up the boiler. This is an extra subject. And this is how I just want to finish. This is how we see Bapoil in the Poiskim. What does the Poiskim paskim? So I wanted to see what today's day Poiskim, not 30, 40, 50 years ago. I wanted to see what today's contemporary Poiskim writes. So I saw Avadi Yosef, one of the biggest Koiche Tire which we had in our generation, is Avadi Yosef writes in Chazon Avadi Hilchos Yom-tov Umad Memalov. That's his author. He even is a Svardi, and he passes like the Shulchan Aruch. Haltas User Chitashuni. I saw in Hilchos Yom-tov Umad Kif Chuf Bais Haluch Chag Bechag Nite Gavril. All of the today's poskim, which is quite popular, hold that today's day not yet. Keep halten aan nog een bissel en odmaat dat we kunnen nemen naar shower. Gold hier, kijk dit mooi.